Hey everyone, before we dive into this story, please hit that subscribe button on my channel for more heartfelt stories like this one. Now, let's get started. 18 months ago, my family left me behind for a beach trip, claiming it was best if I stayed home to work. When they returned, my room was empty. Every photo of me had vanished from the walls. The silence that lingered still lingers in my memory, sharp and heavy. I'm Grace Thompson, 19 years old. Back then, I thought I'd simply been overlooked. I was wrong. I'd been erased. My stepmother, Jennifer, labeled it family time. My father, Marcus, went along with it to avoid conflict. So, I put on a smile and gave them what they seemed to want, a home without me. What unfolded next feels like a dream, but the revenge. It was the first moment I truly felt visible. They tried to wipe me out first. I just completed the task. Part 2, years of quiet endurance. After my mom passed, my dad remarried faster than I could process my grief. Jennifer arrived with flawless hair, dazzling smiles, and a knack for faking warmth. I was 9 when she moved in. By 10, I was the default caretaker, handling dishes, laundry, homework, and bedtime stories. Dad called me responsible. Jennifer said I should be thankful. By 12, I learned gratitude meant staying quiet. At 14, I stopped asking for new clothes. By 16, I stopped asking for anything at all. At 17, I was running the household while Jennifer claimed exhaustion. I worked part-time at a cafe, bought my own books, and still had dinner ready before anyone walked through the door. Every task I completed chipped away at my existence. They'd say, "You're such a help." But help isn't family. Help is replaceable. Senior year spring break was supposed to be my chance to rest, to just be their daughter again. Instead, Jennifer smiled over the kitchen counter and said it was better if I stayed home to work. Dad didn't even look up from his paper. "She's right, kiddo. You'll get more done here." That word, kiddo, once felt like love. Now it felt like a chain. When they left for the beach, Emma hugged me tightly, Tyler sobbed, and Jennifer rolled her eyes. I stood in the doorway, watching the car fade into the distance, noticing even the dog got a seat. I didn't. The silence that followed wasn't calm. It was suffocating, like damp stone. I sat on my bed for hours, the fridge's hum, the clocks ticking, and my own heartbeat filling the void. That weekend, while they were at the beach, I left too in my own way. Part 3, the weekend of letting go. The house felt hollow without them, swallowed by a stillness that wasn't peaceful. No laughter, no footsteps, just the faint buzz of an empty fridge. I stared at the family photos on the wall, smiling faces in perfect frames, mine among them, a lie in plain view. Something inside me broke that day. I wasn't angry anymore, I was done. If they wanted a home without me, I'd make it real. I called in sick to work and started packing. My clothes, my books, my mom's old jewelry box. Everything that was mine went into boxes. By noon, my car was loaded. I rented a storage unit across town and made trip after trip. Each load felt like peeling away a layer of myself. Painful, but liberating. When I returned, their house still looked perfect, but I could see its flaws. Next, I tackled the photo wall. I removed every picture with my face, leaving pale patches where their daughter used to be. In the kitchen, I took the mug Emma made me, the coffee maker I'd bought with my cafe earnings, and the drawings we'd created together. I wasn't stealing. I was taking back what was mine. I photographed every room, before and after, proof of the space I'd once filled, proof of what they'd lose. The bathroom was bare. My bedroom was a shell. The living room felt lopsided without me. By the second night, I wasn't crying. I felt steady, almost detached. When Madison's mom, Patricia, called, I finally said yes to her offer of a room. I'd refused for months, scared to leave Emma and Tyler. But that night, I realized I wasn't abandoning them. I was leaving the people who never saw me. Patricia, her husband, and Madison arrived before sunset on Sunday. Patricia looked at the house and murmured, "This isn't a home, sweetheart." They helped me load the last boxes, and when I shut the door, I felt no regret, just freedom. Outside, the sky glowed with hues of orange and blue. the air heavy with the promise of rain and possibility. For the first time, the road ahead didn't frighten me, it called to me. As we drove away, my reflection flickered in the window, half in light, half in shadow. I liked the part in the light. I glanced back once, just long enough to see the porch light flicker. That house had been my prison. Now it was just a fading shape in the rearview mirror. Part 4. A new space and lingering scars. They returned Sunday night, sunburned and laughing, their voices echoing through the driveway. I wasn't there to witness it, but I could picture it perfectly. Jennifer unlocking the door, Marcus hauling luggage, Emma and Tyler racing inside. Then, silence, a different kind, sharp with realization. The walls were bare, shelves empty, even the coffee scent gone. They probably thought I'd just tidied, until they ventured further. My room was a void, bed stripped, drawers open, my presence erased. The living room had missing photos, pale patches where my face once lived. The kitchen lacked spices, the coffee maker, any trace of warmth. I imagined Jennifer's jaw tightening, her voice trembling as she realized this wasn't a mistake. It was deliberate. On the counter, they found my letter, each word chosen with care, like evidence in a trial. Since you wanted family time without me, here's a taste of it. I listed what I'd taken, nothing that wasn't mine, just everything they'd taken for granted. I thanked Jennifer for teaching me the difference between being needed and being wanted. I thanked Marcus for showing me how silence cuts deeper than words. I told Emma and Tyler I love them, but love doesn't mean staying where you're invisible. Next to the letter, I left my key and a printed job posting, wanted. Live and help. The line that likely hit Jennifer hardest? Position previously filled by a family member. Marcus would have realized then that I hadn't run away. I'd quit. Emma probably cried first, calling my name into the empty house. Tyler would have echoed her, asking when I'd return. No one answered. Jennifer's voice likely cracked. Marcus probably muttered a curse. The sound of a photo frame hitting the floor was the house's only response. The silence that once weighed on me now belonged to them. When Patricia texted their home, I pictured Jennifer pacing, Marcus staring at my empty doorway, both grappling with how much one absence could haunt a house. I didn't respond. I sat outside, watching a bruised sunset, the lights flickering on in windows that no longer felt like home. The breeze carried faint echoes of laughter, memories fading into the night. For the first time, the silence didn't hurt. It healed. It was mine. As darkness settled over their perfect house, I smiled, not out of spite, but peace. Sometimes, the quietest revenge is walking away and never looking back. They thought I was gone for good. They didn't know what was coming next. Part 5. Confrontation and Clarity. The next morning, my phone buzzed relentlessly. Unknown numbers, then Dad, then Jennifer. I ignored the first 5 calls, but on the 6th, I picked up. Grace, get back here now, Dad snapped, his voice laced with panic. You can't just leave like this. Actually, I said calmly, I can. Silence followed, the kind that comes when truth lands too heavily to dodge. You're being dramatic, he shot back. Come home so we can talk. Home. I laughed softly. When did it last feel like home, Dad? When did you last stand up for me when Jennifer treated me like a servant? No answer, just his uneven breathing. Then Jennifer's voice cut in. Grace, this is absurd. You can't abandon your responsibilities. What responsibilities? I asked. The ones you never asked if I wanted. The ones where I work, clean, and get called selfish for wanting to be loved. You're overreacting, she hissed. The kids love you. How could you do this to them? I didn't do anything to them, I said. You did. The moment you showed them I wasn't family. Her breath caught, and I could almost hear her holding back tears. You wanted family time without me? Now you know how it feels. The line went dead. For a while, I stared at my phone, feeling both hollow and free. Then it rang again, Emma. Her voice broke as she spoke. Grace, why did you leave? Mom's crying. Dad's angry. Tyler doesn't understand. I swallowed hard. Sweetie, you didn't do anything wrong. Then why can't you come back? She asked. Because sometimes, Emma, you have to walk away so people see what they had. she sobbed, and I bit my lip to keep my voice steady. Tell Tyler I love him, I whispered, and I'll always be his sister. After hanging up, I sat on Patricia's porch, watching sunlight pierce the clouds. It felt like the world was breathing with me. Patricia brought me coffee and sat beside me in a silence that felt safe. You did the right thing, she said eventually. They needed a wake-up call. And you needed peace. I nodded, eyes stinging. Was it revenge or freedom I wanted? Maybe both, she said softly. I smiled, relieved I didn't have to apologize for it. But the next call shifted everything. Part 6, Healing and a New Beginning. That evening, my phone rang again. A quiet number I nearly ignored. When I answered, Jennifer's voice trembled on the line. Grace, I need to ask you something, and I need the truth. Her tone wasn't angry. It was raw, vulnerable. For the first time, the story wasn't ending, it was shifting. Did I really treat you that badly? She whispered, her voice barely holding together. I couldn't breathe for a moment. All those years of silence had built to this. I don't know what you want me to say, I replied softly. You already know. She started crying, real tears, not the performative kind. I was cruel, she admitted. I thought control would keep everything perfect, but I broke you. Her confession didn't spark triumph, it brought calm. You can't change the past, I said, but you can stop pretending it didn't happen. I want to try, she whispered. Not for me, for Emma, for Tyler. That softened me. Those kids matter to us both, despite everything. We talked for nearly an hour about forgiveness, boundaries, and how love shouldn't feel like a debt. She didn't beg me to return. She asked how to make things right. For the first time, Jennifer listened, truly listened. I realized forgiveness isn't about erasing the pain. It's about choosing peace over the need to prove it. When we hung up, I stepped outside. The air smelled of rain and new beginnings. Patricia, tending her garden, looked up with a knowing smile. Feels lighter, doesn't it? She said. It does, I whispered. Healing isn't loud. It's the quiet return of your own rhythm. Weeks later, we sat around a table again. No tension, no pretense, just presence. The table I once set for others was finally set for me. If you've ever had to walk away to find peace, this story is for you. You don't need permission to start over, just the courage to stay gone until you feel whole. If you face something like this, you're not alone. Share your story in the comments, because sometimes the best revenge is living free and thriving. They tried to erase me, but I rewrote myself before walking away. If this story moved you, please like and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Don't forget to subscribe for more true stories of family betrayal and resilience. We're stronger than we think.